Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you today like I would talk to one of my daughters, one of my sisters, one of my friends who's been through it. You're hurt, he pulled away. Maybe he ghosted. Maybe he's breadcrumbing you. Maybe he got comfortable with your kindness and confused it for weakness. And now your friend said, block him. Your pride says, beg him to see your worth. I'm going to tell you, don't block him. Just do this and watch what happens. Self-respect is not about pretending you're unbothered or acting like you're too good for someone. It's about knowing what you bring to the table, even when someone else forgets to value it. Desperation whispers, please notice me. Please choose me. Please love me. But self-respect stands tall and says, if you can't see my worth, that's your loss, not mine. You don't need to beg anyone to treat you right. The moment you lower your standards to keep someone close, it's the moment you start losing parts of yourself. It's not love if you have to shrink to keep it. People confuse desperation with loyalty, but loyalty isn't proven through begging. It's proven through boundaries. When you respect yourself, you stop explaining your value to people who are committed to misunderstanding it. You stop chasing after someone who stopped trying to keep you. You stop performing for attention and start preserving your peace. Self-respect is a quiet force. It doesn't make a scene. It just removes itself from where it's not being honored. That energy, it's unforgettable. People remember when they could reach you anytime and now they can't. They remember when you used to wait up for their texts and now you're too busy building a life without them. That shift, that's self-respect in motion. And here's what happens. When you stop chasing, you start attracting. You attract better friendships, better opportunities, better love. Because you're finally moving like someone who believes they deserve it. You're not being mean. You're being clear. You're not bitter. You're better. And trust me, when people realize they lost access to the version of you that was loyal, giving, and all in, they will feel it. But by then, you'll be too far ahead to look back. Blocking someone might give you temporary peace, but it doesn't always fix the pain. You can hit that button, cut the calls, delete the text, but if you haven't dealt with what's inside you, they still live in your mind. Healing isn't in shutting someone out. Healing is in looking within. It's in asking yourself, why did I tolerate what I knew wasn't right? Why did I ignore the sign? Why did I stay when everything in me said leave? Growth starts when you stop blaming them and start understanding you. You can block the number, but can you unblock the pattern? That's where the real work is. Growing means taking accountability, not for their actions, but for how long you let those actions affect your peace. It's realizing you let your heart lead in a place where your logic should have stepped in. It's realizing your potential isn't tied to someone else's inability to see it. When you grow, you stop reacting and start reflecting. You stop asking why they changed and start focusing on why you stayed after they did. You get honest with yourself. You forgive yourself. You learn how to love yourself better so you never have to settle for survival love again. Blocking can protect your peace, yes, but real peace comes when you no longer need to block to feel free because you've outgrown the version of you that let them occupy that much space in the first place. You're no longer living in reaction to pain. You're living in response to purpose. You rise not out of spite, but out of clarity. You don't need to prove anything to them anymore. You're not avoiding them. You're evolving past them. That's what growth does. And that's how healing really begins. The moment you beg someone to love you, you start negotiating with parts of yourself that should never be up for sale. Love that's real doesn't have to be chased, and it sure doesn't have to be begged for. If someone wants to be in your life, they'll show up consistently without you having to remind them of your value. But when you start begging, when you start pleading for their time, their attention, their effort, you're telling yourself, even if you don't realize it, that you're not enough as you are. You're saying, please see me, please choose me. I'll bend, I'll change, I'll shrink. Just don't leave. And every time you do that, a little piece of your self-worth erodes. Real love doesn't demand that you beg. It doesn't ask you to lose yourself. It doesn't want you to be quiet about your needs or accept crumbs when you deserve the whole feast. Begging turns love into a transaction where you offer loyalty, sacrifice, and patience, hoping to get just a little bit of love in return. That's not how it's supposed to work. You shouldn't have to audition for a role in someone's life that you were already qualified for. If they can't see your light, don't dim it. Walk away and shine somewhere else. The people who truly value you won't need 1,000 reminders of who you are. They'll just know. And if someone makes you feel like loving you is a burden, believe them and leave. You don't convince someone to love you. You become so deeply rooted in your own worth that their presence is a bonus, not a requirement. You are not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong person. Stop begging for what you were born to receive freely. Love that sees you, respects you, and never needs convincing. When someone pulls away, when they stop calling, when they treat you like an option, your first instinct is to analyze them. What did they mean by that text? Why are they distant? Did I do something wrong? But the truth is, the longer you keep your focus on them, the longer you delay your own healing. Every ounce of energy you spend trying to understand them is energy you're not using to take care of yourself. It's not about them anymore. It's about you. It's about shifting all that attention, all that care, all that love you gave them and turning it inward. Start asking different questions. Not why did they change, but why do I keep giving so much to people who give me so little in return? Not how do I get them back, but how do I get me back? You've been pouring into someone who did. Now it's time to pour into yourself. You don't need closure from them. You need clarity with yourself. You need peace. And that peace starts when you finally stop waiting for someone else to validate your worth. When you shift the focus back to you, you start reclaiming your time, your power, your joy. You begin doing things not to be seen, but because they make you feel good. You stop checking if they've watched your story and start writing a better one for yourself. You stop dressing up and hope they'll notice and start walking into rooms like you own them, with or without their eyes on you. The moment you put yourself first, not out of bitterness, but out of self-love, everything begins to change. It's not selfish, it's survival. It's transformation. It's freedom. The only approval you ever needed was your own. There's a certain power in silence and even more power in transformation. When someone mistreats you, the instinct is often to speak up, to defend yourself, to explain why you deserve better. But let me tell you this, your best response is rarely words. Your best response is your glow up. The way you carry yourself after the storm, the way you evolve and elevate without needing anyone's validation is the loudest message you can send. The truth is, when you focus on improving yourself, whether it's emotionally, physically, mentally, or spiritually, everything changes around you. It's not about proving anything to anyone. It's about showing yourself that you are worthy of everything you desire. As you grow, people begin to notice, not because you've told them, but because they can see it in the way you walk, the way you speak, and the way you shine. Your glow up is the embodiment of your growth, and it doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. It's in this subtle confidence, the peace you found, the new boundaries you've set, and the life you're building with or without anyone's approval. When you stop begging for attention, when you stop desperately seeking validation, you naturally become magnetic. Your energy shifts and people can feel it. They notice when you stop shrinking yourself for others and start showing up fully in your own light. That's the glow up. And trust me, it will always speak louder than words. You don't need to explain who you are or why you matter. People will see it in the way you move, the way you evolve, and the way you've turned your pain into power. The glow up isn't for them, it's for you. It's proof of your strength, your growth, and your undeniable worth. There's something incredibly powerful about having faith, not just in God, but in yourself. It's that deep belief that no matter what, everything will align as it's meant to, as long as you stay the course. But here's the key. Faith without action is just a wish. Faith doesn't sit still and hope for miracles to happen. It takes steps. You have to believe that you're deserving of everything you want, but then you must back that belief up with action. You can't keep telling yourself you're ready for love, but keep selling for the same type of person who never treats you right. You can't keep wishing for a promotion while doing the same work with the same effort in the same environment. Action is the catalyst that propels faith forward. It's what bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. The minute you take action, everything shifts. You'll notice new opportunities popping up, new people entering your life, new energy surrounding you. The key is to trust the process. When you take the step, even when it's scary or uncertain, you begin to align with what's meant for you. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Don't wait until all your fears have disappeared. If you keep waiting for the right time will never come. Faith says, I believe this is possible. Action says, I'm going to make it happen. The universe, God, whatever you believe in, sees your efforts. It rewards movement. So when you act on that faith, you'll be amazed at what begins to unfold. You'll start to see doors open that you never knew existed. People who were once distant will start to see you in a new light. Your life will begin to shift in ways that once seemed impossible. So trust in your faith, take that first step, and watch what happens.